So normally, my headmate Punkbite streams Higurashi, but since I've hijacked this entire stream, I will be playing this chapter of Higurashi. And I think we'll probably start passing it around, maybe by chapter, which is basically like their own games. Considering the story of Higurashi is spread across like 13 different chapters, they're technically all their own games. They're sold separately, at the very least. And Higurashi has a Higurashi is known for being long, or I should say the When They Cry series. There's also, was it Yumeniko When They Cry, which I hear is really, really good, and also long as balls. And I mean, we like long visual novels, it's a big commitment. But I guess we've already started. We'll probably be playing Higurashi for the rest of the year at this rate. Yeah, if you're a big fan of the anime, you should probably get a kick out of this. We've really fallen into like a fucking like a time trap, you know? We've been getting into Higurashi and we've been getting into the Fate series. And we could have been into the Fate series. We could have been watching Higurashi and Fate in like 2005. But we weren't as cultured yet. We actually didn't end up watching Higurashi until probably like 2007? Something like that. Gosh. Time keeps on slipping. Into the pewter. Ah. I love this sound. So, I will follow Punk's general way of doing this. So, we start with one of these little, like, side story things that gives us extra information about characters or places or events, and then I do the chapter. What kind of name is Reina? Reina's not here. Do you know where she is, Keiichi? Huh? She was just there, actually. Hey, Mion. Where did Reina go? Reina? Didn't she go to the bathroom? She did say that she's been having bowel troubles lately. I hadn't heard anything about that. Sadako, do you know where Reina went? Reina, you say? I just passed her in the hallway. Reina has class duties today, so she's off to water the flower bed. Ah, it's Reina's turn for class duty. That's very much appreciated. Reina, Reina, Reina. Upon hearing it repeated, a thought came to mind. It's rude to say this about someone's name, but it was a weird name. It was like some foreigner's name. What kind of name is Reina, I wonder? What kind of kanji does her name use? Reina is her nickname. She has a proper name as well. What, really? I was sure that Reina Ryugu was her full name. Well, I can understand you making that mistake since we only call her Reina. She even signs her name as Reina. It's like her real name in school? I wonder what her real name is. Let's ask her when she comes back. Sadako and Reika looked at each other. You don't need to ask her. We'll tell you what it is. It's the Rei from Ore, and the Na from Nara. Her real name is Rainia Ryuga. Reina? Is it? So it's read out as Reina instead of Reina? That's a pretty interesting reading. No, that's not it. Reina is the correct way. Reina had told us that she wanted us to call her Reina. So we call her Reina. Kei-chan. Reina is Reina, you know? Only strangers call her Reina. You get where this is going? I understood what Mion was saying. It didn't matter what her real name was, only what names we used between us. Reina Ryuga is Reina. She's nobody other than that. So I was thinking, if I had a nickname, would you call me by that? If it's good. What do you want to be called? Con Man. Reina came back into the classroom. One of the juniors near the door told Reina people were looking for her. Oh, what's this now? Who was looking for me, I wonder. Seeing that both Mion and I sneered. Bailiff Ryugo, don't show yourself! Con Man, you're quite sinister. What is this? What is this? Kechi-kun and Mi-chan are evil bailiffs? Con Man. Damn you, Renanosuke Ryugu! Today doth be when thou meetest thy maker. Have at thee! Wah! Wah! Suka-san, Kaku-san, show them what. Oh, wah! Wah! Suka-san, Kaku-san, show them what for! Aye, aye, sir. I expect my fee to be paid by Swiss bank account. Since it's come to this, we have no choice. We'll just have to have a grand battle with 5 people! Damn, someone got fucked up. Reina's fierce punches exploded in the proper timing to take out the seal. The evil that Mion and myself was vanquished in the end. I do hope that Reina goes on to a journey to make the world a better place. Oh wait, I slipped back into my own voice. I do hope that Reina does go on a journey to make the world a better place. How about heading to Nagatocho? My destination is decided by where the cute stuff oh. They're not showing her on screen, so I didn't know that was her. My destination is decided where the cute stuff gathers. The toll of the bell signaled that break time was over. Come on, Kichi-kun, Mi-chan. The teacher's coming. I took Reina's hand and stood up. It was just as the teacher had entered the room. Just one more hour. Man, oh man. Gotta buckle down for one more. Oh, that was a cute scene. And it got me a little bit acclimated. Oh yeah, names are confusing as hell. But I just try to call people what they want to be called because I'm not a jackass. Just general courtesy, honestly. How was it, Kei-chan? So, you went to Reina-san's house? Wasn't it amazing? It's nothing like that, right? Right? Unlike my house, the Ryugo residence wasn't newly constructed. It had been renovated from a pre-existing building. Well, the house itself was fine. The problem was the yard. There, it was crammed with rows upon rows of oddities. They were all the same as Colonel Sanders. The stuff you see while walking around town. The cake shop's mascot, Little Licky. The Totalemon in front of the pharmacy. She even had the amazing flying elephant from the top of the department store. I'll agree with you that those are cute. But why the mailbots? Won't you get in trouble for that one? But, oh, so cute. She must have just thought about it because her face filled with delight. So it's the bigger the better? Just as long as it's big? And her room displays the smaller ones. I had a chance to see them before. And cute kids like Rika-chan are locked away in the basement. Oh my god. Oh my god! Paul, you've been reading this? Oh my gosh! Oh no, she's not a hoarder, she's a collector. Okay, maybe the mailbox is hoarding. But in her defense, it's a very cute mailbox. Usually, I would see someone saying cute, K-Y-U-T-E, and immediately think it's Reina, but I'm pretty sure the main character is actually teasing her, since she says it like that a lot. So it'd be more like, and cute kids like Rika-chan are locked away in the basement? Yep, I'll keep anything. Oh, cute. So she takes anything she likes back to her nest. No ill will intended. Hey, Reina? You know about the Statue of Liberty in New York, right? Is that cute? Yeah, cute. Oh, I want it. The US should probably come up with some countermeasures ASAP. If not, the Statue of Liberty really will take a trip to Hinamizawa in a not too distant future. Be careful booping me. You might catch a computer virus. A difference between cute and cute? Or a difference between mailboxes? There are definitely, I can assure you, ugly mailboxes. Our mailboxes... Okay, we could have a better mailbox, honestly. Our mailbox needs a glow up. My apologies for keeping you waiting. Rika-chan had returned. No fun being called to the staff room. Did you do something? How rude! Rika isn't a hoodlum like Kiichi-san. Nothing like that, Kiichi-kun. Rika-chan is a member of the festival committee. Festival? The school cultural festival or something? Kei-chan, I already told you. It's the village festival. The Wanagarashi? Oh, come to think of it, she did say there'd be a festival at the shrine during the next break. So what's this Wanagashi thing about? It's like a lantern floating festival, right? I guess the last part where you set things adrift in the river is similar? Except we use cotton things, like old worn-out futons and padded cloaks. It's a festival expressing thanks for their years of service. The people living in Himozawa dump their futons and padded cloaks in a stream? It sounded like it'd be a lot of trouble if it backed up the current. Maybe they should just drop some fish in and have a fish wrangling competition? Skewer them and sprinkle a little salt? Oh man, I can smell it already. That's just summer camp. I never anticipated how destitute Kachi-san's imaginative capabilities would actually be. What? How could you tell I was thinking of something silly? It was written all over your face. What sort of face could have the expression of what I'd imagined just now? Reina demonstrated for me. I see. No argument there. It's nothing fun like that, you see. But you should still look forward to it. Let's all go together. I'll come get you that day. I don't really feel like going to festivals unless someone asks me to. I wouldn't get bored if these guys were going. You won't get bored. We're doing it again this year. Mion's proclamation came as she looked at each member in turn. What was this all about? From the way Mion looked, it was probably our club's summer tradition. The Onikakushi 4-demon firefight. That sounds awful! What kind of name is that? I think it's a cute name, though. I tried to object sharply, but since Reina looked happy about it, I decided it was a pointless fight. Since Keiji is here this year, it becomes 5 demons. Rika-chan made a small correction in light of my presence. So, how does this funky sounding club activity tie into the festival? Oh, this is where you exhibit the skills you've nurtured through your daily club activities. Exactly. We show the full extent of the abilities that the best have obtained through our daily trials and tribulations. But last year, the mayor got angry, so we need to make sure not to cause any problems this time. So basically, we're doing club activities while checking out the stalls. Rika-chan really is the only one who explains things, so they make sense. I see, so we'll be exhibiting on those busy festival grounds? Reina was right. Of course that would be a reason for the mayor to get angry. But it's lots of fun! That was the only part I did not doubt. It would be, without question, fun. The day of the festival was drawing near. Well, putting that aside for now, let's start our club activities today. Any objections? Nay! Our voices rang out in unison. When there's lots of people, card games really are the easiest to play. This really is the most basic of table games. Playing with a marked deck again? We'll use a new one today. There are no marks on the cards, so we're all on equal footing. I wonder if that's really the case. I'll have to inspect them. Well, that was fair. Just to be safe, everyone check the cards. Yes, these seem to be fine. Are you all satisfied? Then today, I guess, we'll play President. That's good for 5 people. Another standard card game. First one to get rid of all their cards wins. The basic rules: play a better card than the one before. You can play straights and pairs. There are various techniques to improve the game, like reversals. But because it's such a well-known game, there are lots of house rules for it as well. Oh, they're playing fucking Uno. No difference between a hoarder and a collector. Well, I'd like to think that a hoarder takes things without... They don't distinguish what they take. They'll generally take anything. Whereas a collector is a little bit more discerning. I find collectors to be more picky. Although, if you're like, I don't know, someone who tries to collect every single Funko Pop, if you're a completionist about it, then yes, you do just kind of become a hoarder. Ooh, excuse me. But because it's such a well-known game, there are lots of house rules for it as well. The name, for example. In my hometown, we called it Millionaire. I'd like to go over some details. The Joker is wild. Can you make a reversal with 3 pairs? With 3 threes? No jokers. 2 is the highest. You can reverse a reversal. You can only make a reversal with a 4 of a kind, not 3. Also, you know how the peasant sends a good card to the president? None of that. While I was confirming the familiar rules, Sayako looked over at me cautiously. I probably should have tried to look like more of an amateur. I was pretty used to this game. It's president and it's with a new deck. Today I might be able to win. I had the gist of the new rules now, but that wasn't everything, was it? So what shall today's penalty be? About that. Well, we all write something down on slips of paper and have the loser draw one. Oh, that seemed like it could be interesting. I'll write a nasty one and have Catchy-san draw it. It would be awful if you wrote a bad one and drew it yourself. Just don't lose. Oh, just don't lose. Don't you know best? Mio handed out several slips of paper to everybody. Then write down whatever and put it in this bag. When you lose, stick your hand inside and pick one out. Now then, what would be a good penalty? Worst case scenario, you draw what you wrote. Something too intense would be like digging your own grave. No penalty. Let's forbid that kind of idea from being drawn. Rika-chan's casual suggestion caused Mion's hand to lurch to a sudden halt. Ah! That's so sneaky, Mion-san! She wrote no penalty, and the corner of the slip is folded. I see. Just in case you lost, you grab the note with the folded corner and you'd be safe. That was a good idea. Diabolical as ever, Mion. Rika-chan is quite formidable too, being able to see through that. I couldn't understand her even though she doesn't stand out. Everyone, don't write penalties that are too mean, okay? Nobody agreed to Reina's proposal. Everyone was ruthless. It's fine, Reina, it's fine. Just don't lose. Yeah, that's true. I'll try hard so everyone has to pick the penalty I write. Reina was quite brutal even though she usually appeared meek. Better not underestimate her either. I agree with that. I'm very curious what Reina's penalty is in particular. Everybody's penalties are scary. I still don't know what Rika-chan's penalties would be like. Basically, you can't afford to lose this game. Everybody here ready? We all nodded determinedly. Having confirmed that, Mion dealt out the cards. Finally, the battle begins. I had a decent starting hand. Card after card was played in the middle. No needing Mion to tell them. Both Rika-chan and Sadako played their cards without hesitation. Reina and I were the only ones who paused to think. It seemed that Reina genuinely couldn't make up her mind. But it was different. But I was different. I was like a shark stalking its prey, just waiting for the right time to strike. Huh? Will this work? Then I'll play this 3, and then I'm out. 9! Nobody? 8? 7! I'm out. 5 and 5. I'm out. Then I'll discard this last one and I'm out. Bah! I missed my chance. The loser of the first round was, of all people, Mion. And now, I was certain. Today, I could win. Now then. Mion-chan, pull out one of the slips, okay? Mion, accepting her defeat, scrounged around inside the bag and pulled out a piece of paper. What? Who did this? Who wrote this? Mion quivered and shrieked. What is it? What is it? Oh! Raina was only surprised when she peeked at it. What kind of terrible thing was written on it? Pet the principal on the head? Hey, wait. How is this bad? Kenji-san, do you not understand? The principal is balding and ashamed of it! Sayako yelled with a serious look on her face. But she wasn't as loud as Mion's shriek. What could it be? The principal is a martial arts master. He boasts about traveling around the world perfecting his skills when he was younger. He switched to teaching after seeing the poor state of education in Japan after the war. He was inhuman. Pet that guy's head? As the club president, there's no way I can set a bad example by refusing. She bellowed out a yell as she dashed off down towards the hallway. Wouldn't it have been easier to sneak out quietly and try to do it without making a fuss? Probably impossible. They say he used to hunt sea slugs just by sensing their presence. I could do nothing but wait with bated breath. Kerpow! A rumble shook the classroom. That's the principal's aerial opener. Shing! Kaboom! Following the launcher with a jab jab? Strong. Fierce combo! He's even using meter? From how it sounded, the principal's jumping fierce sounds like a multi-hit combo. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Nothing I could do now except stay calm. I understood now why there was no delinquents at the school. After a few moments of silence, Mion slumped back to us. Petted. Is that good enough? Mion said before collapsing. She's alive at least. Now we can continue the game. Monster. I was amazed the person who made club activities like these could say that. But now, the worst penalty is gone now, right? Right? Raina tried to lighten the mood and was only met with Mion's malicious grin. She was serious now. I'm not holding back anymore. You'll all get yours. The pace of the game became bizarre. The pace of the game became bizarrely quick. I could tell the game had gotten more intense. Ace. 3, 4, 5. I'm out. I'm out as well. I'm out too. 3, I'm out. I lost! And the heavens chose to vanquish Raina. What kind of penalty, I wonder? What kind of penalty, I wonder? It wasn't exactly hard for her to be worried. Just thinking of the level of difficulty of Mion's first penalty still made me quiver. And so the penalty she drew with trembling fingers was... The heck was this? Speak like a maid. Huh? What is this? This one? What do I need to do? So basically it means you have to use the same expressions as a maid? Oh, okay. Master. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I had no idea who wrote that penalty. But she was awesome. Then, Raina, can you shuffle the cards and deal? Yes, Master. I could just die right now. Anyway, let's continue. Right, Reina? Yes, Master. The eagerness to which I was goading Reina into addressing me as Master was downright impressive, if I do say so myself. What? I won't lose anymore. I'm out. I shan't lose either. I'm out. Then with that, I'm out too. I can't believe it. Is it Reina's loss again? Reina again? What kind of penalty would it be this time? I was delighted by the mysterious sense of anticipation. Anticipation? No. This was conviction! Remove one piece of clothing from the top and bottom halves of your body. That's just indecent! Who could have written this? My face reddened in anger. If I didn't yell something out, I wouldn't be able to hide my shaking. Who did write that? God, please give that man a Nobel Prize. That would be an ignoble prize. Not good, not good. What I was thinking about was written on my face. Oh, Mii-chan. Reina begged Mion with teary eyes. But everyone knew Mion's answer already. Nope, nope. Won't go easy on you. You lost, so take it like a man. Understood, Master. I'll undress. What? I looked around, thinking someone else would probably stop her. Of course, I wasn't exactly trying to stop her either. Then I heard the rustling of clothing. The sound of her skirt hitting the ground sent my heart racing. Is this fine, Master? I looked away, like a gentleman. But these club activities, you need to be ruthless after all. Catchy-san, whatever were you expecting? Certainly we would not have her strip if she weren't wearing her PE clothes underneath. Sayako poked fun at me, but right now I can't hear it. Not bad, Kei-chan. This old man never even thought you would go after her like that. You got it wrong! I didn't write that one! Master didn't write this one? Her squirming around in her PE clothes made it impossible for me not to feel anything. Calm down, Kechi Minabara. Mion probably wrote that one and planned to go after me as I panicked. I can't fall for a trap after knowing it's a trap. Clear your head! Calm down and assess the situation. I was determined to think my way out of this, and the answer was quite simple. I win! I then became a god! I, who had already entered the domain of godhood. What would dare stand in my way? It was like they were pulled to me magnetically. I was picking up aces and twos like nobody's business. Ah! How could my luck of draw be so bad? Sayako lost, right? I'll draw the penalty. Speak like a little sister! Fine. Oni-chan. Yes! The pleasure of making this brat disgrace herself. Ugh. This old man loses again. Mion's lost, right? I'll draw it out. Wear a girl's swimsuit. A girl's school swimsuit. No! That's the one I wanted K-chan to get! Yes! Mion's spirit was like sweet honey. Master, I lost again. Reno lost? I'll draw it for you. Let the person in first place rest their head on your lap. In this outfit, Master? Yeah! She's not wearing a skirt, so it's her bare legs. Oni-chan, you're too good. Sadako lost again? I'll draw it. Obey the person in first place. How about I have you give me a shoulder massage? Fine, Oni-chan. Come on, do it a bit harder. Don't use your nails. I had transformed into an evil dictator and couldn't be doing any better. I felt like I could control how the cards played out with my mind. It even decided what suits would appear just by willing it. By the time I realized it, I had already assembled a harem. I was laughing haughtily as I rested my head on Reina, who was now a bloomer-clad maid. Sadako was wearing a collar and had taken on little sister properties. Mion was fanning me while wearing a school swimsuit. Oh, today's Master's overwhelming victory, isn't it? Please refrain from moving your head around so much. I began to think. Why does man have to end to his desires? How could I wish for more than this palace of dreams? What is it, Keiichi? I'm saddened by the thought of a man having no end to his desires. That was it. Rika-chan hadn't been in first, but she continued to escape being in last. Keiichi is quite greedy. It's said you should know when enough is enough. I know that very well, but how to say it? I feel like I wouldn't mind if I died right now. Master, please refrain from moving your head around. You say you wouldn't mind dying. Then that can be arranged. Oh, okay. That's Eureka. You say you wouldn't mind dying. I think that can be arranged. Rika-chan said in her usual calm manner with a cheery tone. It was undoubtedly a declaration of war. Go, Rika-chan, go! Take him out! Defeat this archdevil of perversion! I might not be able to win, but I'll beat him. Such stoicism from this little girl who's always hidden away in Sadako's shadow. It will probably be rude not to meet her head on. I shall face you myself, little one. I saw Mion swap a few cards with Rika-chan in the middle of the game, but I pretend I didn't see it. Do you believe you can defeat Keiichi-sama with just that? 2. Ace. 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 8. 8. 8. 8. Reversal. Everybody looked at me. I was still brimming with confidence. The 4 of them have allied against me. That's it? You're making me laugh. That was good. Reversal! Reversal! What? How could such a thing be? Sadako let out with a shriek. You simpletons. Using up all of her cards before calling the reversal left Rika-chan with no good cards. She was defeated soon after. I lost. Finally, you fall into my clutches. Now I'll pick one out. What? Wear cat ears, a bell collar, and a tail? Even the penalties were as I wished. Rika-chan hung her head and equipped the 3 holy artifacts. It's questionable as to why such things were in Mion's locker, but I had no objections, so I didn't ask. Oh, this is so... Oh. Felt like I had become Reina. This is definitely cute. Oh, cute, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh, I want to take her home. That wasn't me talking. That was the actual Reina. Meow. As Rika-chan mimicked a cat, teary eyes, rings of smoke escaped from Reina's ears with an audible poof. Rika-chan must take home. Taking her home. Just for a little while. I won't do anything strange. Nothing strange. I see. I still have one trick left. Mion gasped and dropped her fist into her open palm. If Reina must, she can take me home. After Reina-san beats Kachi-san, she can. They thought the Reina in cute mode would be able to defeat me. Would it be that easy? Opposing me was the same as opposing God. I'd teach them their place. How preposterous that Reina can't defeat me. How preposterous that Reina can't defeat me? For a moment I didn't know what was going on. The 52 cards danced and flowed freely between Reina's hands, like the machinations of a master magician. In the middle of those flowing cards was Reina's ecstatic expression, her head bobbing around. Shall we? Kachi-kun? Hurry. My whole body knew it already. I was going to lose. No play? Nothing to play, Kei-chan? Then with this, I'm out. Everyone cheered. I was spent. I've got no regrets. God, thank you for letting me dream a little. Now then, I'll take one out. Kachi-san's penalty! This is it! Everybody peeked at it in unison, gazes flickering between the text in my face. All day today I did as I please. I'll do whatever it is. What's on there? Aw. Huh? Every penalty up until now? What in the heck? Kachi-san, should you not be speaking like a little brother? Yes, Oni-chan. Oh, this is quite addicting. Next, I'll have you rub my shoulders. Kachi-kun, I don't need the lap pillow, so do that other one, okay? Yes, master. Oh, Kachi-kun, that's so cute. Say it again. Say it again. Oh, spare me, master. Reina passed out with a squeal, blood spewing from her nose like a fountain. Oh. My dignity was being trampled more than a communal doormat. Next is from this old man. I'm gonna have you fan me for a good long while, you know? Whoosh, whoosh. Oh, almost forgot. You need to wear this, don't you? The school swimsuit. This is for girls? Can I wear the one for boys? It was clearly written here, wear a girl's school swimsuit. As you can see. Sadako was like a lone shark. Actually, me trying to escape reality as fast as humanly possible is pretty adorable, if I do say so myself. But whose school swimsuit am I gonna wear? If I were wearing one of yours, you wouldn't like it, right? This old man doesn't care about that kind of stuff at all. Think of it as a little benefit. I'm not that in shape, so I think even K-chan can fit into this. The executioners surrounded me, wagging their fingers. No! Oh! My first thought, it's tight around the waist. My second thought, the chest area was pretty loose. Third thought, the crotch area was... Oh! Gachi-kun is bending forward. Cute, cute. You'll be ready after you wear the cat ears, bell, and tail. K-chan, wanna look in the mirror? It's amazing, really. It's probably best if you look. The stern, scientific, calculating nature mixed in with her fascination made Mion very scary. I would like to respectfully decline, Master. Your ensemble is complete. If only we could send you home dressed like that. Then, is this enough? I'll change and... While I was saying that, Mion placed her hands on my shoulders, and Rika-chan slipped up behind me without a sound. Not yet, Kichi. There's still the first penalty left. In this get up? Rika-chan patted my head without saying a word. Sir, excuse me! Yes, please, come in. I stepped forwards into the principal's office, my bell collar jingling adorably. The principal froze solid with a smile on his face as he saw me. I couldn't blame him. I was cute as fuck. In this sacred place of study, specifically in his office. Although I said, excuse me as I entered, the sight of a person entering with a school swimsuit, cat ears, a collar, and a tail. And for it to be a young male student. Without a doubt, any normal person's psyche would have stopped cold. But this could be explained. We'll call it uncanny valley camouflage, if you will. When humans see others, they can only begin to act after confirming this is human. Meaning that if he could not comprehend what was in front of him, then in those moments before he could begin to fully process the situation, his mind was completely blank. That was the one and only chance for victory. My penalty. Rubbing the principal's head. Principal! I challenge you! I heard what sounded like a zhing 3 times. This 3-gauge super. The principal said one thing to me. What does it mean to be a man? And a heartbeat? That tremor resounded throughout the Hinamazawan twilight. Higurashi. When the cicadas cry. I will say of the, quote, Japan's fetishes can be weird. I think that a lot of people look at anime and manga and video games from Japan and go, ah, this is what Japan is like. And I think it'd be kind of silly to do the same thing with American comic books and, I don't know, Marvel movies, right? But I digress. Even without that little wrinkle in my argument, I don't think that it's very weird at all. Especially considering I don't think Japanese people invented pet play. Now I want to find the most early version of pet play. I mean, I guess some people might go, oh, but like, was it like Kabuki theater had men playing women, so in that way you could be like, well, the cross dressing part, and it's like, and of course I'm giving you a an argument here just to contend it, of saying, well, actually, in theater at a certain time, regardless of where you were in the world, most places didn't allow women to be on stage for plays and stuff. So it was men by default in a lot of places. What other kinks were there? Big bro, big sis. I will say there is something distinctly anime manga about Oni-chan and that sort of stuff. But I mean, anyone can have an incest fetish. Have you seen Game of Thrones? Oh, I never interpreted what you said as a bad thing. However, I did call attention to it because I don't want Japan to get all the credit for being degenerate. God. Share the love, you know? I mean, understand, I am super weeaboo. Like, if I could be more weeaboo, like, I'd probably explode. Reina was given permission. Oh, right. Punk's voice. Reina was given permission to caress Rika-chan's head as much as she wanted, so they headed home together, very pleased. Once again today, it was just Mion and I going home. Man, that was intense. I didn't know Kei-chan was so good at president. No, I was more surprised than anyone. If I was playing with guys, I wouldn't have been that strong. But still, it was pretty bad. Being carried off on a stretcher in that outfit will probably haunt me until the day I die. But that's fine, isn't it? You were able to do something to boast about for the ages, too. Oh, well, when she says it like that, we both smiled at each other. Ah, we meet again, Kechi-kun. It was Tomitake-san. I felt like I've been running into him quite often. Hey, take any good pictures? Well, a few. So, Tomitake-san suddenly leaned over and whispered into my ear. You sure get around. Today you already have a different girl? It's not like that! No need to hide it. It's important to get lots of experience when you're young. Because Tomitake-san let out such a crude laugh, Mio knew what we were talking about without even hearing his whispering. I've heard through the grapevine that Mr. Tomitake is quite the catch himself. Huh? No, that wasn't my intention. Sure. Keep up the good work and take plenty of pictures. See ya. Mion seemed to really want to get rid of this lout quickly. From the way she spoke, it seemed as if Mio knew Tomitake-san quite well. How's the year treating you, mister? Staying until the Onikakushi? Yep, I plan to. After photographing the festival, I plan on heading back to Tokyo. Being a photographer sure is easy. Be sure to win some big award and become famous. You spent all your best years on photography after all. I don't think I'm that far gone. Don't they say men start developing their own unique flavor in their 30s? What does it matter what you taste like? That's so gross. Oh, look at the time. I need to get back to the inn before it gets dark. Tomitake-san began to take his leave with a dry laugh. It did look like he was outmatched by Mion. Now then, I'll see you both at the festival. That was lovely. Mion is the dirtiest old man in this entire village. After waving a hand cheerfully, Tomitake-san disappeared amongst the cries of the Higurashi. The way he's going, he probably won't ever get famous. I had him promise he'd display a picture of me if he ever opened up a gallery, but I don't think that'll ever happen. So you know Tomitake-san? Yeah, he's an acquaintance of sorts. But you know how easy it is to tell who's an outsider. It sounded like you meet up with him all the time. Tomitake-san comes around to Hinazawa regularly. Maybe 2-3 times a year. He says he's taking pictures of the seasonal scenery and wild birds, but well, those photos are really nothing to phone home about. The image Mion painted of Tomitake-san was fairly unique. The Tomitake-san I knew was way more mysterious. The words flowed naturally from my mouth. I wonder if he's really here to take pictures of birds. Mion stared blankly at me as if to ask, well, why do you say that? It just seems he's here for something other than taking pictures, I think. Don't you get that feeling? Like about that incident. The dismemberment. Oh, you too. If so, you've got good instincts, Kei-chan. She agreed with what I thought, but was quite chipper in how she said it. You knew about it then, Mion? Of course. He might be able to pull one over on everyone else, but he can't fool this old man. Mion was posturing pretentiously, but I had easily come to a very different conclusion from what she was imagining. It felt like apprehensions I had about Tomitake-san disappeared, lifting a burden off of my shoulders. I was finally able to appreciate how clear the evening sky over Hinamizawa was. I exhaled everything in my lungs and inhaled just as much. It smelled like dusk. Wet puppy. What is it, Kei-chan? It's just that I never thought the cries of the Higurashi could feel this good. What's gotten into you all of a sudden, Kei-chan? We both continued to giggle, not knowing why. I wonder what Reina's doing. I bet she's getting her feel of Rika-chan by now. She's probably in the middle of asking her over so she can treat her to dinner. It'd be great if she'd be able to take her home. I wonder. Rika-chan is pretty good at that stuff. Yeah, I feel the same. That head-petting penalty was probably from Rika-chan. I thought so too. The only one who could get away with patting his head is Rika-chan after all. Just pointless chit-chat. The hot day felt like it was being cooled down by the cries of the Higurashi. Higurashi, when they cry. Receive new tip. Community notice. A fate worse than death. And that's the end of another chapter. There's only one new tip, so we'll use that at the beginning of next Higurashi. And there we are. Okie dokie, artichokes. We're gonna wind down for the end of stream and I'll find someone to raid. Thank you all for being here. It was nice having a stream all to myself.